you have to look at it from the perspective of where schools are located and what the racial makeup of those schools might be, and how misconduct, or what is described as misconduct, is handled and treated. And certainly, I grew up in Washington, D.C., but in Ward 3, which is a largely white ward and largely high income. And there was all sorts of mess and mishigas and trouble that we could get into. And it was never handled by the police. But I think what we have seen, certainly, and I think that there's actually a bit of a rollback of this, but what we have seen in lots of urban schools is that the disciplinary systems, respond to misconduct that you see anywhere in this country among young people, among adolescents, and treat it differently. And then that begins a process of sort of system response that is far more punitive and far less understanding of adolescent actions, and disrupts lives. So, suspensions, expulsions, police and, resource officers in schools that respond in a particular way. And that doesn't exist everywhere in the country. But so there is a culture in schools that needs to change.